too many times I will see a professional bodybuilder or strength athlete doing something unique in their training. And everybody will be praising these athletes, saying that what they're doing is the best thing in the freaking world, whether it's right or wrong. Simply the fact that these guys have credibility and they have a good record behind them, people take them seriously. Now, if a noob or someone with less experience or someone who's an amateur, not a professional, decides to do the same exact methods, this person will be ridiculed, laughed upon, absolutely wrecked and destroyed. Yet, if the professional does it, then it's absolutely okay. This, my friends, is what I call double standards in fitness. Basically, the more advanced you are, or the more credibility you have, the more stupid shit you can do and get away with. That's just the name of the game. Or if it's not stupid, the more you could practice certain philosophies and it'll be deemed as sound. Whereas if you're a noob who's doing the same thing, well, you're just a noob, or you're just a guy who doesn't know what he's doing, right? And here's an example of what I'm talking about. If Mike Tyson decides to do wrestler bridges, right? Rolling wrestler bridges to build his 19+ inch neck, right? Unflexed. It's considered one of the most legendary things ever. Everybody loves talking about Mike Tyson and his wrestler bridging, right? Yet, if a 140-pound skinny guy in the gym decides to do bridging, guess what? Say hello to gym fail compilations. Say hello to the cell phone. Say hello to the hidden cams. That's what it's come down to nowadays. If a guy like Bill Goldberg decides to do neck extensions on a machine, right? Doing this really fast, right? And doing neck curls and all these different exercises, guess what? It's Bill Goldberg. That means what he's doing is the best thing in the universe. It is perfectly acceptable. But you, my friend, if you have a 14-inch pencil neck and you decide to use that neck machine, guess what? Gym fail. Guess what? Blowjob resistance training, man. Are you training to suck some dick? Because that's what you're going to be ridiculed for. See, that is another example of double standards in fitness. If a wrestler does it, if a boxer does it, if someone with credibility does it, it's fine. But if you, the guy who's actually trying to get to that stage, attempts it, then it's not considered good. Oh, let's break this down a little bit more, right? Strongman. If a strongman competitor deadlifts very heavy weights with straps, guess what? It's a great lift. But if you decide to use straps, you're a fucking pussy, because straps don't exist in the jungle and straps are for pussies. You have to use hook grip or mixed grip, otherwise you are less than a man. No, forget the fact that if you look down, you got dick and balls and it's grabbable, right? Forget about that. Because you use straps, bro, you're no longer a man. But if Brian Shaw does it, excellent. If Eddie Hall does it, excellent. If the guy from Game of Thrones does it, excellent. Double standards 101. What about hitching? If a strongman competitor hitches a very heavy weight, and they often do. I'm talking like crazy hitching like this, right? Quadruple hitching. It's considered a great lift. And of course, it is allowed in the sport, but it's considered fantastic. But if a guy on YouTube decides to pull 600, 700 pounds, and he does a mini little hitch, or just a small hitch, or maybe hitching like a strongman, guess what? It's not acceptable. Double standards 101. Let's break it down more. If Brian Shaw decides to deadlift with bands, it's considered awesome, right? If a guy like you who's deadlifting the 400 decides to do it, it's considered gimmick training, right? If a guy who has an elite raw bench decides to use bands or chains or a slingshot or something like that, it's considered fantastic. But if you, the intermediate or just advanced lifter, decides to do it, but you're not at the elite level, guess what? Gimmick training. This is another example of double standards in the fitness community. And you know what? It doesn't just go for good things. It also goes for the bad. If a professional bodybuilder is doing half squats with 500 to 600 pounds, right? Everybody thinks he's strong. He's praised. He's seen as a god because the guy has big legs. So you're allowed to use bad form if you have big legs, right? But no, if a guy who is weaker than the bodybuilder or doesn't have as big legs decides to do the same form, guess what? Say hello to gym fail compilations. And I know one particular bodybuilder, I'm not going to name drop, who does do half reps. But everybody loves him. And I even saw somebody who creates gym fail videos praise this bodybuilder when the guy was doing half reps on camera. Double standards. It's always a double standard. If you're a pro, it's considered good. If you're a noob or someone who's not like at the professional level, but you're amateur, then it's not good, okay? Whether the thing that the pro is doing is good or bad doesn't really matter. The fact is, if you're not at the elite of the elite of the elite, you get pissed on for doing the same shit that they're doing. All right. And I've seen this over and over and over again, guys. Like, just, it's crazy. Go watch some athletes on YouTube, right? Go look at their training, and you're going to see them doing some unique stuff, right? But if some guy who's not as strong as them decides to do the same thing, I promise you that they're going to be ridiculed for it. Because it's an athlete or because it's a bodybuilder or someone like that, it's considered godly. So that is a double standard epidemic that is going on in the fitness community. And it is very, 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 very fucking common. I see it every single day. Pros get away with doing stupid shit. Pros get away with doing just normal training. But if a guy who's not a pro does it, it's stupid. So, that said, what can we do to fix this problem? How do we get rid of these double standards? Well, there's only one thing we can do for the most part. Be objective. Be objective and look at the facts 100% of the time. Stop thinking like the herd, right? And stop judging everybody for what they're doing. What we need to do is get back to logic, back to raw truth. Once we get rid of these little emotions that say, oh, he's a champ, therefore you can do this. Once we get rid of that and we just look at the training for what the fuck it is, we're not going to have these problems anymore. All those gym fill compilations of guys doing neck curls and neck extensions, which I still see on a regular basis, by the way, which is a damn shame. All those compilations are going to be gone if we get to objective truth. Now, I understand that this is more of like an idealistic point of view. You know, it's actually not going to happen because the majority of the population is far too stupid to consider what I'm saying. But not you. You made it to the point of this video. But yeah, the majority is not going to listen. But for you, my friend, I say don't fall for the same trap. Not end up with these double standards. Instead, stay true to the objective facts of things and just look at things from logic. That's it. Just look at the logic. If it makes sense, it makes sense. If it's bad, then it's bad. Pros can make mistakes too. If you see a strength athlete using terrible form, right? If you see a bodybuilder using terrible form, that can be called out. You don't have to sit here and praise him when he's doing something wrong, right? Now, if a guy is doing something good and you see someone else who's not as strong copying it, then don't get mad at him, because eventually the person who's doing this type of training is going to reap the rewards. And now people are not going to be laughing anymore. And you see, that's the second thing right there. If you're the one who's being laughed upon, right, what you need to do is keep doing your thing and then eventually get your results. Once you have the results, people are not going to laugh at you anymore, right? Remember, it used to happen to me. When I first started doing rack pulls, people used to give me weird looks. But next thing you know, my traps blew up. Same thing when I trained my neck. I used to have a 14.5-inch pencil neck. When I got it over 19 inches, now all of a sudden, I see people at my gym doing neck extensions on the machine and all that stuff, right? So the two ways to reverse it is, number one, you stay true to logic, right? Which I'm sure a lot of you guys can do that. And the second way is to get your results so good that people have no choice but to believe in it. And at that point, you become the credible figure. But then again, if you do reach that point, there's a chance of getting a double standard, if you catch my drift. In other words, you become the credible figure that can get away with doing stupid shit. So if you are in that position, if you are in a position of authority, inform your viewers and be truthful. Always be raw, always be real, and look at the facts. Look at the facts and don't be judgmental about everything you see. So there you go, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was kind of like comedic yet informative at the same time. I just wanted to bring awareness to this topic of double standards in fitness and make you reflect a little bit. So hope you learned something. I would absolutely love to hear your feedback down below, especially in the double standards that you have seen. I really want to hear your stories here. And with that, I will talk to you all next time.